day.
P. Diddy's son, King Combs, attacked 50 Cent with a diss track.
I knew your dad for a long time. He did that shit. Guilty as
When King Combs, Diddy's son, dropped that line, everyone thought it would make waves. But if there's one rule you should never break in the music industry, it's this: never disrespect 50 Cent. And guess what? That's exactly what King Combs just did.
And so shout out to King Combs for stepping up for his pops, but I don't think this will move the needle at all. And it doesn't look like 50 is fazed by this at all. He responded on Instagram like he usually does, with humor. He dropped a couple of funny pictures with captions, continuing to clown Diddy and now King Combs.
We all know Curtis 50 Cent Jackson's story, from hustling in the tough streets of Queens to becoming a mogul with an unbreakable, ruthless reputation. If there's one thing 50 Cent's history has proven, it's that he's not someone you want to mess with, let alone disrespect. But it seems Diddy's son, King Combs, missed the memo, and now he's learning the hard way. But here's where it gets really wild. King Combs has even been spotted flashing gang signs. And let's be real, he probably hasn't ever set foot in anything close to street life. Meanwhile, 50 didn't just survive in the streets, he ruled them. So what exactly is going on? Why is King so determined to act like he's untouchable? As mentioned, Christian King Combs dropped a diss track called Pick a Side. And let's just say, he didn't hold back on the shots at 50 Cent. In the track, Christian went so far as to throw threats at 50, rapping about police raiding his crib, thinking he was dealing substances, only to find he's out there stacking multi-million-dollar plaques. But then he dropped a line that caught everyone's attention. Too bad they ain't know we bought the one next door, 'cause that's the one they missed. Now, if you read between the lines, it sounds like Christian might have just spilled some tea on Diddy. He's hinting that there could be evidence linked to his dad hidden away in the house next door, a property he says also belongs to Diddy. So, not only did Christian go after 50 in the song, but he might have unintentionally snitched on his own father. Then Christian doubled down, throwing in a line that referenced 50's hit, Many Men. Pop's been hated on by many men, and that's fine. They're going to try to stop these M's, and they're going to die trying. It's a not-so-subtle nod to 50's Get Rich or Die Tryin' era, and 50 didn't miss the diss.
Yeah, he was saying something to 50 Cent. Pop's been hated on by many men. Fine, they gon' try to stop these M&Ms, and they gon' die trying. Pull up to the south side, we locked in, we got ties. Don't give a f*** about no blogs, cause we really outside.
As many of us know, 50 Cent has been taking jabs at Diddy for years, long before the recent allegations against him surfaced. In fact, way back, 50 even posted a now infamous photo of himself in a hospital bed surrounded by stuffed animals, hinting at Diddy's alleged personal secrets. In his caption, he said, "Sorry, I can no longer help you guys. Soon you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under the leadership of Puff Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow." And that was just the beginning. He followed it up with an extremely shocking photo of Diddy and Rick Ross seemingly making out on stage in front of their fans. And if that wasn't scandalous enough, he also shared a picture of Diddy looking quite flamboyant in a pink outfit, being sensually embraced by a former record executive. The caption? "I ain't saying nothing, but something ain't right." But the drama didn't stop there. During a radio interview, 50 Cent accused Diddy of trying to lure him into what he called gay freak-offs. According to 50, Diddy once suggested an all-expense-paid shopping spree, which left him utterly confused. He recounted.
Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of no, dude, take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
Diddy later tried to brush it off, claiming it was just a kind gesture, insisting he thought 50 needed some new clothes. "I thought he needed some clothes. He doesn't even know what he's saying. It's like fruity," he said, trying to downplay the situation. If that wasn't enough for the ongoing feud, 50 Cent took another jab at Diddy when Cassie filed her explosive $30 million lawsuit against him for SA. Once it was reported that Diddy had settled the lawsuit in just 24 hours, 50 wasted no time putting on his petty cap. He made an Instagram post mocking Diddy for settling the lawsuit so quickly, clearly relishing in the drama and the chaos surrounding Diddy's life. In his classic wit, 50 posted, "He paid that money real quick. Should have done that before the sharks saw blood in the water. Here they come in, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Every woman he put his hands on." Clearly, 50 wasn't planning to let this one slide. But he didn't stop there. The trolling reached new heights when he hinted at a bombshell project in the works. 50 then teased that he was actually in talks with Hollywood producers to create a documentary about Diddy, announcing this on Instagram. He reposted an article about his involvement and added a spicy caption. "I thought Diddy was a billionaire music mogul. If he's smart, he'll file for bankruptcy now. Anyone with real money knows why I'm saying this. I'm the best producer for the job. Here come the receipts." This wasn't just talk either. 50 had already shared a sneak peek of the documentary, which included allegations from Mark Curry, a former Bad Boy Records rapper. In the clip, Curry claimed that Diddy would spike bottles of Moet with something that would make women at nightclubs lose control. He recalled how Diddy would warn his friends not to drink from certain bottles, allegedly saying, "They have something to make girls be real slippery. When you get up, they're like, 'Don't touch those bottles right there, only drink these.'" This snippet alone was enough to send fans into a frenzy, eagerly anticipating the full story. But 50's beef wasn't just with Diddy. He also found himself at odds with Jason Derulo, who seemed to defend Diddy amidst the allegations. It all started when a video surfaced of a TMZ reporter asking Derulo about his thoughts on the situation. Derulo expressed support, saying,
I know you worked with Diddy, and he's helped your career a lot. Do you feel like people should be giving him some grace? Or at least giving him the grace of, saying, he is innocent until proven guilty?
I believe in that. I
Right.
believe in innocent before proven guilty, for sure.
Do you feel like they're kind of
Thank you.
going too hard on him, maybe?
As you can imagine, this whole thing got under 50 Cent's skin, and he didn't hold back on firing shots at Jason Derulo. Right after TMZ published the article on Derulo's defense of Diddy, 50 reposted it with his own spicy twist. He suggested that Jason might be in one of Diddy's infamous freak-off tapes, writing, "Shut the F up. Let me find out you on one of them tapes, boy." Jason wasn't about to let that slide. He clapped back by posting an edited video of himself in a fight with a man whose face was photoshopped to look like 50's. In the video, he made it clear he wasn't going to sit back while 50 implied anything wild about him, and he even captioned it, "50's first hit in 20 years. I'm so sorry." The video itself is a reference to an incident in 2022 when Jason actually got into a fight after two fans mistook him for Usher. But now he's using it to send a message. He's ready to throw hands if 50 keeps talking. And with the added caption, it's clear he wanted to add a little extra sting, reminding 50 that it's been a while since his last big hit. This beef isn't new, though. 50 has been going in on Diddy for years, regularly roasting him and anyone else who dares to take his side. While Diddy himself has mostly stayed quiet, it seems his son Christian Combs isn't taking it as lightly. Christian has been keeping a close eye on the shade 50's been throwing at his father, and recently found himself caught up in the controversy too. He was actually named in a lawsuit against Diddy by record producer Lil Rod, who alleged that he witnessed both Christian and Diddy, along with Diddy's other son Justin, inappropriately involved with a woman. Then in April, a disturbing lawsuit shook him when Grace Omar Kai filed a civil suit in Los Angeles, accusing Christian Combs of SA during a supposedly glamorous yacht trip. The suit didn't just point fingers at Christian, it also implicated Diddy, alleging he was responsible for creating an environment that led to the incident. According to Omar Kai, who worked as a steward on the yacht, the experience was far from the family-friendly atmosphere one might expect. Instead, she described a chaotic scene filled with intoxicated guests, celebrities, and suspected S-workers, along with substances and alcohol flowing freely. Omar Kai claims the drinks served to her and other women were likely spiked, which allegedly led to guests falling over themselves, panicking, or passing out. The lawsuit details that Christian, who was 26 at the time, pressured her to drink tequila with him. When she tried to pull away, he allegedly became aggressive, grabbing her arm and kissing her neck, face, and hands against her will. Things reportedly took a darker turn later when Christian attempted to force her into an intimate act in the yacht's cinema room. The lawsuit also details that audio recordings captured Omar Kai clearly refusing alcohol, insisting that she needed to leave, and repeatedly telling Christian to stop touching her. In the recordings, kissing sounds can be heard in the background, along with Omar Kai's protests. But the allegations don't stop there. Diddy's record producer, Rodney Lil Rod Jones, who himself has a separate lawsuit against Diddy, was allegedly present during the incident and reportedly recorded parts of it. Omar Kai claims that when she reported the incident to the yacht's captain, her concerns were swiftly dismissed, with Diddy allegedly offering a large tip to keep her complaint under wraps. The impact of this traumatic event has severely affected Omar Kai's personal life. She claims that as a result, her long-term relationship fell apart, and she's been struggling with an eating disorder and epileptic seizures. Not only that, but a few months before Diddy was arrested, the federal agents unexpectedly raided his home, swarming the property in search of potential evidence. Christian and Justin Combs, Diddy's sons, were reportedly handcuffed and loaded into police vehicles in front of the residence. Witnesses were stunned, as about 30 law enforcement vehicles and at least 3 Bearcats, a type of armored SWAT vehicle, surrounded the property, turning the raid into a major spectacle. Now fans were quick to call out Christian, saying that he might just be as dirty as his father, sparking further criticism. In the midst of all these serious allegations, Christian seemed to think the best way to respond was through a diss track aimed at 50 Cent. However, fans and critics alike dismissed the track as weak, with many feeling it was an attempt to shift the conversation away from the legal troubles. True to form, 50 wasted no time trolling Christian, making it clear he wasn't impressed with the diss track. He posted a picture of Christian and Diddy on stage together with a caption dripping with sarcasm. "I feel so threatened by the things Christian is saying on his record. I'm afraid for my life. Please don't hurt me, guys." He even added, "I never mentioned or posted anything about Puffy's kids because Keith D said he unalived Tupac, LOL." Further stirring the pot with a mix of humor and biting commentary. Not stopping there, 50 posted another jab aimed directly at Christian's behavior, asking why they would even bother intoxicating women, suggesting, if she can't remember how good it was the next morning, how do you connect? Then he shared a clip from Christian's song where the young rapper uses explicit language, and 50 didn't hesitate to twist it, commenting, "Christian Combs, is that what you told Omar Kai on the boat? Gave her the puffy juice with that special sauce in it? LOL. Boy oh boy, bad boy for life." As if things couldn't get messier, 50 continued with yet another post. This time he picked out a part of Christian's song where Christian essentially hints at Diddy's behavior and implies there might be evidence at the house next door. 50's response: "Now why would you say something like this when you know the feds are investigating? Is you stupid or is you dumb? LOL. Chill." It's clear that 50 sees Christian's attempts to act tough as misguided, describing him as a rich kid who doesn't really know how the streets work. What's evident through all these posts is that 50 Cent is drawing a sharp line between himself and the Combs family, highlighting his own gritty upbringing to contrast Christian's privileged life. For 50 Cent, the streets are more than a claim, they're part of his identity. From a young age, 50 Cent, born Curtis Jackson, was thrust into the gritty world of South Jamaica, Queens, an environment that shaped him into the fierce, no-nonsense figure we know today. Curtis grew up surrounded by the tough realities of street life. His mother, Sabrina, was a substance dealer, exposing him early to the rougher side of life. Tragically, she died in a mysterious fire when Curtis was only 8 years old. With his father out of the picture, Curtis had to navigate this unforgiving world on his own, eventually being raised by his grandparents. But this wasn't your typical upbringing. Curtis had to grow up fast and learn to fend for himself in a community where weakness meant failure. By the time he was 11, Curtis had already taken up boxing, a discipline that helped him build strength, both physically and mentally. Boxing wasn't just a sport for him, it was a means of survival. In a neighborhood plagued by brutality, Curtis learned to throw punches before he was old enough to drive, giving him an edge that most kids his age didn't have. However, the streets had a stronger pull. By the age of 12, Curtis was no longer just boxing. He was dealing substances, concealing his activities under the guise of attending after-school programs. But Curtis wasn't just dabbling in street life, he was fully committed. While other kids his age were focused on school and sports, Curtis was stashing substance money and weapons, bringing a piece of the streets home with him and hiding it from his grandparents. Eventually, he even stopped hiding, admitting bluntly to his grandmother that he sold illegal substances. By the time 50 hit his teenage years, his reputation was already solidified as a formidable force in his neighborhood. At just 17 years old, he was cruising around in a sleek Benz, flaunting 2 guns in the car, a clear signal that he wasn't just some small-time hustler. He understood that in a world where weakness could cost you everything, showing any sign of fear was not an option. But it wasn't just the hustle that shaped him. It was the hard knocks of life that gave him his edge. In 1994, his luck ran out when he was arrested for selling substances to an undercover cop. Just weeks later, police raided his home, uncovering the same substances and a gun. The result? A harsh sentence of 3 to 9 years in prison. Yet even that wouldn't break him. Curtis served only 6 months in a boot camp, emerging with his GED, ready to continue his journey as a hardened street hustler. Now, about that name, 50 Cent. It wasn't just a catchy moniker, it was a badge of survival. a testament to his journey. He took it on as a tribute to Kelvin 50 Cent Martin, a notorious Brooklyn robber from the 1980s, a man whose fierce reputation resonated with Curtis's own struggle. 50 Cent saw himself in that same light, a survivor who could do whatever it took to make it in a world that had shown him no mercy. Even as he ascended to fame, his gangster roots never fully left him. The streets remained a part of his identity, and they echoed through his music and business dealings. But let's not forget the defining moment in 2000 when he was shot 9 times, a brutal attack that could have ended anyone else's career. Instead, it only cemented his legend. Most would have backed down, but not 50 Cent. He used that near-fatal experience as fuel for his ambition, propelling him further into the spotlight. Surviving 9 bullets transformed him into something more than just a rapper. It showcased him as an indomitable force in the industry, a man who couldn't be broken. So when we talked about street life, King, you don't know what it's really like. His life has been painted in shades of luxury and privilege, far removed from the gritty streets that shaped 50 Cent. Sure, he's got talent, but in 50's world, there's little room for softness. It's a different game entirely. While King Combs is navigating the industry, 50 Cent is a force to be reckoned with, a man who has made it clear that challenging him, whether in business, music, or on the streets, can lead to serious consequences. Even notorious figures like Suge Knight, the man behind Death Row Records, found themselves intimidated by 50 Cent. When Suge tried to flex his muscle, 50 stood his ground, showcasing his fearless demeanor. The story goes that when 50 confronted Suge, he didn't flinch. He met intimidation with sheer confidence, showing that he wasn't one to be trifled with. But let's not get it twisted. 50 Cent isn't just a street thug. He's also a savvy businessman. From the moment he stepped into the rap game with his iconic album Get Rich or Die Tryin', he has built an empire, a testament to his resilience and entrepreneurial spirit. The shooting that should have spelled his demise instead solidified his status as a living legend. Surviving those 9 bullets proved to the world that 50 Cent was more than just a rapper. He was invincible. Now, with King Combs attempting to make his mark, it's essential to consider the stakes. Dissing 50 Cent might just be the worst move he's made in his career thus far. 50 is known for his relentless pursuit of his enemies. Just ask Derulo. 50 didn't stop at just dissing him in songs. He systematically dismantled his career, turning him into a punchline. So, King, you're just starting out, and 50 Cent is going to pin you down. But what are your thoughts about this? Comment down below. And while we wait for more updates, make sure to like, subscribe, and watch our other videos for more deep dives into the world of hip-hop and beyond.